Today, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy ousted by his own party members. Western ammo stocks dangerously low as Ukraine war drags on. Nobel winners announced prematurely. US nationwide emergency alert test fuels conspiracy theories. And Lady Gaga off the hook in $500,000 dog kidnapping reward settlement. Welcome to Fine Print, and this is your briefing for Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. On Tuesday, history was made in the United States as Kevin McCarthy became the first House Speaker to be voted out by members. Florida Representative Matt Gaetz introduced a motion to vacate on Monday after falling out with McCarthy following last week's government funding bill. The motion was brought to a vote of the full House, and just moments earlier, Democrats had declared that they will not be stepping in to save McCarthy. True to their word, all Democrats present voted to remove him, as Gaetz managed to marshal 8 far-right Republicans to his side. The result was 216 members voting for his ouster and 210 voting for him. McCarthy was widely seen as a weak speaker, getting elected comically after 15 votes. It was clear he did not have his party in order then and was unable to consolidate his support in the following weeks. For months, far-right Republicans led by Gaetz threatened to remove him whenever he appeared not to go far enough in their right-wing agenda. Following the news, McCarthy told his conference that he would not run for the job again, throwing the race wide open. Republican Representative Patrick McHenry from North Carolina was named temporary Speaker. He declared the House in recess until both parties can decide on a path forward. As Speaker pro tempore, the Republican can only recess the House, adjourn the chamber, and recognise Speaker nominations. This puts many pending issues, including further funding for Ukraine in question. Today, a dire warning from NATO and British officials that Western militaries are running out of ammunition to give to Ukraine. This comes after the US stopgap spending bill passed by the US Congress over the weekend failed to include military aid for Ukraine. To make matters worse, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who is a supporter for Ukraine funding, was ousted from his leadership position on Tuesday, throwing the House into recess and further raising the question of when the House will debate further aid. Admiral Rob Bauer, the chair of the NATO Military Committee and NATO's most senior military official, said that the bottom of the barrel is now visible, referring to the West's ammunition stockpile. Despite this reality, NATO officials insist that aid for Kyiv must continue, which means increasing production capacity. Delayed provision of ammo and equipment was cited as one of the reasons Ukraine delayed the start of the summer offensive, which allowed Russia to build up formidable defenses. The United States has so far sent military aid amounting to over $46 billion and plans to send more. On Wednesday, the Nobel Committee announced Mungi Bawendi, Louis Bruce, and Alexei Ekimov as the Nobel Prize winners in chemistry. The three were feted for their invention of quantum dots, particles so small that their electrical and optical properties are influenced by quantum physics. Mungi is a professor at MIT, Bruce at Columbia University in New York, and Ekimov at Nanocrystals Technology in New York. Quantum dots are only a few nanometers in size and are being used in computing, lasers, and microscopy. Prior to the official announcement, the Academy sent out a press release that prematurely announced the winners, thus spoiling the surprise. In the US, social media users were treated to a buffet of conspiracy theories concerning an upcoming test of the National Emergency Warning System. A nationwide test of the Federal Emergency Alert System was set to be broadcast at approximately 2:20 p.m. EDT to cell phones, televisions and radios across the United States. Such tests are usually conducted by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. Between 2011 and 2021, 6 similar tests have been conducted. This time, however, there have been lots of conspiracy theories which mark a continuation from the post-COVID conspiracy lunacy. Many of these conspiracies are in fact grounded in COVID and vaccines, with the proponents claiming that the test is meant to activate materials inside the mRNA vaccines for nefarious purposes. As preposterous as that sounds, millions of Americans have fallen victim to these conspiracies and have themselves become active participants in spreading them further. The end result has been a distrust in science and a growing movement of proud anti-vaxxers. Fact-checkers have been quick to point out that the long-predicted mass dying of people vaccinated against COVID has never come to pass. And in fact, the pandemic is over largely because of the vaccines. Closely related, the duo behind the mRNA COVID vaccines were this week awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine. Finally, there's some good news for multiple Grammy Award winner Lady Gaga. A Los Angeles County judge has ruled that the singer will not have to pay out the $500,000 reward that she promised for her French bulldog's safe return following a 2021 dog-napping incident. 53-year-old Jennifer McBride had filed a lawsuit against Gaga this past February for the reward of $500,000 plus $1.5 million in additional damages. She said that Gaga offered the reward if the stolen dogs were returned. No questions asked, something that she did 2 days later. However, it was quickly discovered that she was connected to the crime, being in a relationship with the father of one of the suspects. She was arrested as an accessory and for receiving stolen property before entering a plea deal and being sentenced to 2 years probation. She quickly made a U-turn and sued Gaga for the money, but clearly the judge wasn't buying it. That's all we have for today. Please subscribe to keep up with the most important news.